Why are there not more people talking about the mirror's secret in the forgotten mansion? This question lingered in the minds of the villagers, yet few dared to seek the answer. The mansion, with its crumbling walls and overgrown garden, stood as a silent sentinel of the past, holding within it a mystery that had intrigued generations. In a small village, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a legend about an old ornate mirror hidden in a forgotten mansion. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, around crackling fireplaces, passing the story from one generation to the next. It was said that the mirror had the power to reveal one's deepest truth, a truth that could change the course of a life. This mirror didn't just reflect your face, it revealed your deepest truth. Its frame, intricately carved with symbols and figures, seemed to hold the weight of countless secrets. The glass, though dusty and aged, had a peculiar gleam, as if it were alive, waiting for the right person to unlock its mysteries. One day, a curious young woman named Clara heard about this legend. She'd always been drawn to stories of magic and mystery, and the tale of the mirror captivated her imagination. Clara spent hours listening to the village elders, absorbing every detail of the legend, her curiosity growing with each passing day. She always felt something was missing in her life, but could never figure out what. Despite her comfortable existence, there was a void, an unfulfilled longing that she couldn't quite name. Clara often found herself staring out of her window, lost in thought or wandering through the woods, seeking answers in the rustling leaves and whispering winds. Determined to find answers, Clara ventured into the mansion through dusty halls and finally reached the attic. The journey was not easy. The mansion's eerie silence and shadowy corners tested her resolve. But Clara pressed on, driven by a sense of purpose she had never felt before. Each step she took echoed through the empty halls, a testament to her courage and determination. There stood the mirror, its surface gleaming despite years of neglect. The attic was filled with old, forgotten objects, relics of a bygone era. But the mirror stood out, its presence commanding attention. Clara felt a shiver run down her spine as she approached it, the air around her thick with anticipation. Clara hesitated, then stepped in front of it. Her reflection stared back at her, familiar yet distant. She took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest, and reached out to touch the glass. The moment her fingers brushed against the surface, a strange sensation washed over her, as if the mirror were drawing her in. At first, she saw only her reflection. But as she continued to gaze into the mirror, something began to change. The image before her wavered, like a ripple on the surface of a pond, and then slowly transformed into something entirely different. But then the image changed. It was no longer just a reflection of her present self. The mirror seemed to peel back the layers of time, revealing a younger version of Clara, a child full of dreams and possibilities. Slowly, it revealed her as a child, holding a paintbrush, surrounded by vibrant colors. Clara's heart raced. She remembered those days vividly, the joy she felt when she painted, the way the world seemed to come alive with every stroke of her brush. It was a time when she believed in endless possibilities before the weight of practicality and expectations dimmed her dreams. She had loved to paint as a child, but abandoned it, thinking it impractical. The pressures of growing up, the need to conform to societal norms, had led her to set aside her passion. She had traded her dreams for a life of routine and predictability, burying her true self in the process. Tears welled up in Clara's eyes as she realized the life she lived, one of routine and practicality, had buried her true self. The mirror had shown her what she had lost, but it also offered a glimmer of hope. It was a reminder that it was never too late to rediscover her true self, to reclaim the joy and passion she had once known. The mirror showed her what she had lost, but also gave her hope. It was as if the mirror were telling her that the path to her true self was still open, waiting for her to take the first step. Clara felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to break free from the constraints that had held her back. With newfound clarity, Clara left the mansion, determined to rediscover her joy. The journey ahead would not be easy, but she was ready to face it. She walked out of the mansion, leaving behind the shadows of her past, and stepped into the light of a new beginning. She picked up a brush for the first time in years, filling her world with colour again. The act of painting brought her a sense of fulfillment she had long forgotten. Each stroke of the brush was a step towards reclaiming her true self, a journey of self-discovery that filled her with joy and excitement. From that day on, Clara lived not by others' expectations, but by the truth she had seen in the mirror, her own heart. She embraced her passion for painting, allowing it to guide her towards a life of authenticity and fulfillment. Clara's journey to self-discovery had only just begun, but she knew that as long as she stayed true to herself, the possibilities were endless.